Hello everyone, this is Oliver from Neo, and today we are launching a new tea, and this time it is a Kukicha which we found in Shizuoka, and it is the Kukicha from the Osada family. Osada family, long known family doing incredible green tea, and what we especially like about the Osada family, and especially about the son who took over now the business of Osada as a green tea family. They are actually more and more specializing in organic green tea, and they do fantastic matchas already, which we could discover. But today we are talking about their Kukicha. And this Kukicha is very special. As some of you might know, we already have the Kukicha from Mr. Watanabe from Yakushima in our assortment. But this one here is a little bit less of grassy fresh and shows much more of a sweetness. And that's why we decided to take this tea into our assortment. So what is the Kukicha? Kukicha, as you can see, it is a stem tea. Stem tea means leaf and stem mix. And what is special about stem teas is that they actually have less caffeine than normal teas inside of them. So quite interesting also to drink in the evening. Often Kukichas or banchas are my favorite choice to be drunk in the evening. So we go right into it. So just have a small sniff. What is nice about this tea is really that you have also to the little bit haze flavor, which is normal for a stem tea. You definitely have this lingering sweetness coming with this tea, and that's, I think, already from the nose side what convinced me to go and pick this tea from the Osada family, as it is a very smooth and very sweet Kukicha green tea. So without further ado, let's go into the tasting and brewing of this tea. So I heated up the water on 65 degrees Celsius. I'm more of a low temperature brewing green tea consumer, because I like a lot how the colder water or not so hot water gives a much more smooth and much more sweet flavor to the tea. So I can already see that this is evolving pretty well. Now going with the nose over the water, it really shows me that I have much more of this hay flavor. The stem flavor is clearly coming through. It's a little bit of a sweet corn mix with hay, with what I can smell here. A little bit of slight artichoke, young spinach. This is a little bit the nose I get from this tea here. We just leave it in really for a short time, only for 1 minute, and then we go directly into the brewing. I just put this here aside, and we can already pour it into the cup, or in my demonstration glass of the Borum company. Very beautiful hand blown glass. And what you can see in general, and what is pretty impressive also with Kukicha, is that it's a little bit more clear, or a clearer, and it's not so strong jade greenish like a Fukamushi, so a deep steam tea. So there are a little bit, I expect a little bit of brighter notes, a little bit more of a freshness, but still a very sweet tea. Already when I go in now, I have much more of a little bit this yellowish, a little bit corn, hay flavor, but still there's a lot of sweetness, or seems to come along a lot of sweetness with this tea. So let's have a look how the taste is like of this tea. Already in the beginning, very sweet. Compared to other stem teas I had, it has not this straight hay flavor, this kind of very honest and direct way. It has much more of a smooth, sweet way, and then leaving like the space open then for the hay flavor to develop. But it's more a little bit on the stringent, so a little bit of this dry side, so a lot of tannins, which is also a typical note for stem teas, because stem teas, they often have much more minerals than other green teas, as the stems, they really are full and rich in minerals, a little bit lower in the on the caffeinated side, but very, very rich and alkalizing also for the body. Just as a side note, but this one here has a very smooth and very, very kind of non-aggressive way of being, and this is what I liked personally a lot about this Kukicha. Impressive sweetness, very, very complex, so a little bit going from a light sweetness, then really letting space so to a little bit of grassiness, then the haze flavor is coming in, and in the end you have a little bit of a dry mouthfeel due to the richness of tannins in the tea. But quite interesting, quite impressive how this tea is still staying very smooth and in a weight very light. So that's why personally this tea, compared for example to a Kukicha from Yakushima, where you have a lot of grassy freshness to it, it stays more in the sweet and smooth character. And for a Kukicha, this is quite uncommon, but still you have a kind of this tanninic, a little bit drier mouthfeel, which is known for a Kukicha. So it's not a smooth sencha, but it still has this light and sweet flavor with it, which I personally like a lot about this one here. So we just go to the second brewing just to have a look. Second brewing has to be very short. So we're talking here around 20 seconds, not much more. We just pour the water in, put the lid on the Kyusu, turn it around. We can see that the color has a little bit gone, a little bit more in the yellowish color, so a little bit more away from the greenish, a little more in the yellow. Might be that the second steeping here is a little bit stronger in taste on this, around this hay flavor, and has gone a little bit back in the sweetness. So let's just check this out. There's a little bit more freshness now, so definitely the sweetness has gone back a little bit. There's a more fresher note, slight astringency, but still very, very low. So it has a little bit more of a fresher tone in the second note. Quite interesting, still very smooth still, but the sweetness has gone down and the freshness a little bit up. So it turns a little bit from a sweet Kukicha more in a fresh Kukicha. So it goes and moves a little bit in the direction of the Yakushima Kukicha, which which we already have in the assortment, and which I like a lot due to the fresh grassy taste it offers. But this one here, much smoother and rounder, so quite interesting in terms of taste or flavor profile for a Kukicha. A nice hay flavor, a little bit of the grassiness, a little bit of the sweetness, but much fresher. So the second steeping, definitely the fresh, kind of the fresh side of the tea is much more coming out. So this was the small introduction of our new Kukicha from Mr. Osada. If you haven't tried it yet, go grab a sample, try it for yourself, and let me know how you like the tea. And always, it's organic, and always never grown with pesticides.